What's happening, friends? Welcome to Unlocked 313. That's a palindrome edition coming up on this week's show. We've got a handful of topics, a little bit of a quiet news week, but we'll make it fun anyway. We're going to start with our games of the year so far, our personal picks for what's been most keeping us happy on the Xbox platform. Also, Destiny hitting some serious player count numbers. We'll talk about that. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, kind of a killer tech crossover that's of specific interest to Xbox fans. The classic Halo games are taking a little bit longer than expected on the backwards compatibility front. We'll talk about that. And another classic game that's never been on an Xbox platform is on the way from Capcom. We'll talk about all that. But first, you know me, I'm Ryan McCaffrey. These two gentlemen, James, I'm not sure if you've ever been. This is first time for both of you. It's been a ridiculous scheduling day at IGN.
It's a crazy day here at IGN.
It's not to say I'm happy to have you guys on anytime, not as like, you know,
cheers.
Well, when you come
last
resort.
Come to like the PC guy for the Xbox podcast. I guess we're like cousins in a way.
Yeah, I mean, well, we have a very deep bench. So,
sure.
but I'm glad to have you guys on. James Duggan.
Cheers.
Thug and Duggan.
Yes.
You know him, you love him. Whether you're watching for IGN's PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds coverage, you just did a cool thing on Fortnite's Battle Royale mode, which is also on Xbox.
Yeah, it is. Beating PlayerUnknown's to the punch there, but anyway.
A little bit.
And the IGN show. My brother-in-law texted me last night. I've never mentioned the IGN show to him.
Yeah.
And he texted me last night. It was like, what's this IGN show? Is this you guys? So he found it organically on his own.
That's exciting.
And Damon Hatfield, good to have you, I believe, making your Unlocked debut as well, maybe?
No. I've actually been on an episode when you weren't here.
Whoa, so
it was being hosted by someone else.
We don't speak of that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you've been kind of having me on GameScoop a number of times, so finally returning the favor. Well, gentlemen, it is kind of a slow news week, so I thought, well, here we are. We're in. Wow, it's mid-September. This phone says September 12th on it.
Yeah,
mid-September. We're getting close to the end of the year, but still, you know, so many major Q4 releases. I thought we'd go around the table a little bit, talk about our personal Xbox games of the year so far, up to September 12th, 2017. I'm going to go to my friend Damon Hatfield first.
Oh, man. Kicking off first.
You know, it's been a little slow on the first-party front.
It has been.
Halo Wars 2 being the biggest one so far, but then we're going to get two substantial first-party releases in the span of they'll be out within about a week of each other. We've got Cuphead coming up on the 29th, and then less than a week later, on October 3rd, is Forza Motorsport 7.
Yeah.
But they're not out yet. We don't have those yet. What on the Xbox has caught your attention so far this year?
Well, if you will allow it,
I'm
going to pick the Inside and Limbo double pack, which was just released. It's either this week or next week. And of course, Inside was my favorite game of last year. I know you're also a fan. Limbo was probably my favorite game of 2010 or 9, whichever year that came out. Those games are absolutely incredible. It's cool that they're being released together on one pack. So,
is it $20 for the both of them? I'm guessing
it might be $30, but yeah, it's like
one's 20 and one's 10.
It's a budget release, and it's coming to retail too.
So we'll go to the Celebrity Deathmatch referee Judge Mills Lane. I'll allow it.
Okay, good.
We're going to allow that.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't played either of those games,
they're both unbelievable experiences.
They're so good.
Oh, it's just
Are you with me, Damon? Is Limbo the single greatest Xbox Live arcade game that ever was?
Yeah, I think so. I think I would agree with that.
I think I'm with you there.
For sure.
I mean, a lot of people would argue about Braid.
Yeah, I know. I definitely like Limbo more than Braid. Yeah. That's no question.
I'm too stupid for Braid and The Witness.
I'm right there with you. I like those games. I like those games, and I enjoy them up to a certain point. I just hit a wall.
Right?
I just hit a wall where I can't figure this out.
I don't know how to
I don't want to use a guide to look up every puzzle. So yeah, no.
I play games to relax.
Limbo also gets very difficult, but I was able to complete it, on my own. And no, those games are filled with incredible moments all the way through, and then both of them, without spoiling anything, both of them have insane endings that left me thinking about the endings of these video games for days and weeks afterwards, and that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, Limbo was such a masterpiece in and of itself, and again, the ending of it, you were like, it was a total just mind blower.
Yep.
And then they just completely outdid themselves.
They did, yeah.
They took that to the next level with Inside.
I think Inside is better than Limbo. It's both incredible.
Still, no one here at IGN has like a convincing theory over any of the other theories for Inside's ending. Like, there are some different theories floated out there, and nobody's been able to convince anybody. Like, oh, you're right. It's just there are many plausible theories for the end of that game.
I think they intentionally left it open-ended up to interpretations.
Yeah, genius stuff.
Yep.
Playdead, masters of their craft.
Yeah. Hopefully they can keep it up. I know one of their founders left, so
yeah. Well,
hopefully they can keep the quality up.
We're getting. Well, I don't think the colloquial name that the community has assigned it is Playdead's Outside, because remember they put that piece of concept art out, which was there was like a I think was it a spaceship or like a weird kind of extraterrestrial light coming down on somebody.
Yeah, I'm remembering that.
Trying to picture the concept art, and then you're referring to Dino Paddy had left and started. I can't remember the name of the studio, but the game is Somerville. Remember that teaser trailer?
Yeah.
It was very inside-y.
Yeah, exactly.
From an art directive perspective.
Exactly.
Looked awesome.
So
James
I
Duggan.
think we're going to bounce it over to you because I have a cool segue into the following thing.
You're keeping me on my toes.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
worries.
I think for me, when I think back, like, it's
year.
The best is yet to come on Xbox One this year, I think. But it's I'm trying to now just make sure I'm confident in my choice.
Well, I think the roster is not that impressive, and I think a lot of the standout titles of 2017 did not come to Xbox One.
It's been unfortunate. Persona 5 and
and
Neo, and of course, obviously Sony's had some PS4
Horizon.
titles and some stuff on Switch. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a great pick. What did I say when we came in? What was I going to go with?
Boy, I don't even remember. I remember we talked about Halo Wars 2 briefly, but that certainly is not.
Which was fine, but
sure.
I struggle to come up with one. I don't even know. Maybe I just won't give one. Maybe that'll. Be
I think reserving judgment.
This is your topic. You came up with this topic.
I know. I don't know. Hold on. Let me consult my. I made a short list.
This is what it's come to.
Well, it's a shame, but I think that is where we are.
Sure. I think the Xbox One is in for a real treat later this year. Well, with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I mean, obviously Forza Motorsport 7, but expressly that game has done such amazing things. 1.2 million that's Destiny. Over 1 million concurrent players on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which is a milestone.
Sold over 10 million copies while it's in early access already.
Yep, unreal. Yeah, I think honestly, like I'm just being honest. I don't think I do have a clear-cut pick thus far, but I would kind of give it like a tie. I would give it the Game of the Year, Xbox Game of the Year so far to Tacoma, which I've really liked, and Prey, which turned out really well. I know it had some sort of technical issues in the beginning, but whatever, those are long gone. And it is very much in the vein of System Shock 2, which is one of my all-time favorite games.
Sure.
But yeah, it's been bring on Cuphead, please. Please let Cuphead be great.
Yeah, I hope it's really good. It's been a long time coming for that one.
Very long. James Duggan.
All right, well, my pick, kind of indicative.
Rescue that horrible segment I just...
In the vein of the Xbox One in 2017, I think my pick, normally I don't think would make it onto a Game of the Year discussion, and it's Destiny 2. It just came out. I love the game. I'm having a really good time. I was somebody who played Destiny 1 and felt as though it was a really good proof of concept.
It is the water cooler game right now, but for good reason.
Yes, absolutely. And the post-launch content, while a little bit sporadic in the first game, was also very good. I'm a big World of Warcraft guy, so I'm coming at it from both an FPS background and an MMO background, and the MMO side of me is a little bit let down with the content offerings, just a little bit, but still, I'm like, okay, this is a good start. I think what really separates it from the first game for me is the idea that I'm working my way through this story that I think the narrative is engaging, the characters are likable, and then in addition to that, I'm being sidetracked with these public events, these lost sectors, these patrols, all these different things to do in the world, and that's kind of naturally progressing my character. And the loot game so far, despite hitting a wall at power level like 260, 270, where you're clearly not meant to progress past that, but people are, the loot game I think is pretty good. I think the exotic effects are fun, and it's definitely kind of scratching that MMO RPG itch.
Yeah, I'm only at level 6. I've only been able to play a few nights. It's been a busy time, but I'm really impressed so far. I mean, there is a cohesion to it. There is a sort of unified design direction to it that I feel like Destiny 1 lacked in the early game campaign story department. And it
didn't hook me, and then as a result, didn't really hook me into those endgame activities. But I am going crazy on subreddit trying to figure out the best way to max out my character's light level, circumventing all these systems. And I'm enjoying it so far, and cannot wait to see what they do with this raid tomorrow.
Yeah, we've got the raid hitting, and it's 260. As you have to
260 minimum, 280.
Okay, that's
for like the kind of the end boss of the Leviathan.
Now, a question I would have asked Destin had he bothered to show up for the show. That
classic Destin.
He's not even playing Destiny because the servers are down. What are you doing?
What is he doing here? Why isn't he here? This has been a big question. We talked. Sean and Finnegan and I were actually debating this last week live on the air. You know, I'm a person who I respect people that want to go grind it out and earn it and get there, but you know, the raid is pretty universally regarded as the best part of the game. I've got a million games that I want to play that in my line of work I need to play. I've got a full-time job and a family. I don't have time for the grind. So I want to jump in and I want to be able to raid. And now we know that players like yourself have gotten through. Tell me, James Duggan, what am I looking at from the end of the campaign, which I do intend to get to, just as I did with Destiny 1. What is the leap required? What is the canyon that I have to traverse?
I think
between the end of the campaign and being raid ready, this light level power level 260.
Sure. I think from the end of the campaign, if you go in and know what you're doing and follow a guide, I think it's probably 10 hours or less. I actually don't think it's that much time.
Which is crazy. 10 hours?
I've sunk 40, 50 hours into the game at this point, and it's been out, what, a week? A little bit. Yeah. This is our first reset. So, but a lot of that was me running up against a wall because I didn't really know. They designed, I think Bungie very clearly designed design the game in a way for you to get up to this certain light level, which is 260, and then do the raid. But what players are doing, since the raid is not out and people still want to get levels, all of the gear drops based upon your level, so they're able to kind of like cheese the system with things like infusion and saving these powerful engrams and stuff like that to boost their light level, and then make a second and third character. And that's the real progression of the game, is to make a second and third character, because the light level tracks across all characters. So at that point, you're looking at like 60, 70 hours to get up to 290 or whatever. But keep in mind, this is people playing it not as intended. So I think
games as service.
Yeah. Right.
So okay, let me reel you back in here. I'm playing one character. I'm playing at whatever pace I'm going to play the game at. I know the Destiny 1. My understanding was it was roughly like a 20-hour gap between the end of the campaign, where you'd hit like level 18 or so by the end of the story campaign, up to get to 26 and get raid ready. So it sounds like it's roughly half.
Roughly half.
It's been cut in half or so?
I think it's been cut in half. I think you could probably do it in less than that. I don't have the best sense of it because I have not rolled a second character and done that grind again. Yeah. But an example, my girlfriend beat the game. She's already at 240. So really, she just needs a couple of good exotic drops, and she can get those from the
now you're speaking my language. If I'm going to be at around 240, when I finish
240, depending upon your
all right. That's a lot more reasonable in my eyes than the having to go. I know they changed the whole thing, but having to go from 18 to 26 in Destiny 1, which I was unwilling to do.
It's a grind. It still retains that MMO thing. It's a shared world shooter, but that in my mind is purely a marketing term. It definitely feels at points like a grindy MMO, and what's hilarious is there are a lot of players out there, even part of myself, is like, it's not grindy enough. There's not enough content here. I'm hitting a wall. What is happening? I can't play. I've played for 50 hours in 1 week. I can't play anymore. Why can't I play anymore?
Yeah.
So I think that maybe I need to pump the brakes a little bit at that point.
Yeah, it's time you gotta check you into rehab.
Yeah,
at this point. All right. Well, on that note, Destiny 2 has been hugely popular in its first week, hitting 1.2 million concurrent players, meaning people logged in at the same time. That's going to be obviously across PS4 and Xbox One. The PC version not out yet. But yeah, in its first week, 1.2 million concurrents. That is
impressive.
Very, very impressive.
Yep.
Game's showing no signs of slowing down. In fact, with the PC version, it'll probably only push up higher.
Sure. I have a theory that the PC version will be the largest audience because I think that this game is tailor-made for a PC audience, and it's something that they are right at home with the World of Warcrafts and the various Diablos and RPGs. So we'll see, but this number is super impressive to me, and what's more impressive, having suffered through a lot of bad MMO launches, is the server stability.
Yes.
Which has been, some people will complain here and there, but ultimately it's been a fantastic experience, I think.
I agree. I mean, I just haven't seen a lot of issues. I mean, like you, I've been around for the infancy of the MMO genre to where, things would just crash and be a nightmare for days on end.
You just couldn't play.
Yeah, now we're at the point where, like, okay, you get a couple hours worth of hiccups, and that's about the worst you're looking at.
Sure, a little bit of lag here and there.
Yeah.
And 1.2 million concurrent speaks very well to its sales. Its sales are double that, maybe even more than that.
Exactly, because this is people on at the same time.
Yeah, just people are on the same time. So yeah,
you got to figure there's at least twice as many people that own the game.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I definitely expect it to be the best-selling game of September when MPD numbers come out next month.
Yeah, probably no competition on any other platform, I would think. Nintendo's got Mario Odyssey at the very end of October.
It's October, yeah.
Sony, I don't think they don't have any. They've got Gran Turismo in October.
Yeah.
Microsoft's got. I mean, Cuphead's a digital. It's not going to crack the top 10 list. Let's be honest.
Yeah, sure.
or if it did, it would be really damn impressive.
Yeah. It's a digital only exclusive.
I mean, I guess it's on Steam too. But
I guess so.
And then Forza 7 was early October. So you're right. Probably nothing else to challenge it.
Yeah,
for the month of September.
For the moment, yeah.
I mean, I guess there's EA's got a couple of sports games out, but
Madden's already out though. Madden was
that's a big one.
Was August, so.
And I think FIFA is. I think that's an October game. That'll be like the number 1 or 2 selling game. FIFA's huge.
FIFA Ultimate Team, man, people go
absolutely
crazy.
Get those
cards,
trading cards just going on.
MTG nerds in disguise.
Yes. All right, let's talk about another one of my friend James Duggan's favorite topics. That is PlayerUnknown's
tailor-made for
Battlegrounds. It's perfect. I wrote the show for you. So that obviously the game's continue to be enormously successful, growing and growing at an unprecedented, or at least unexpected rate.
Certainly unexpected.
Blowing away anybody's expectations.
I just want to say, obviously it was Microsoft shored this up as a console exclusive, but I bet all AAA game developers are looking at PUBG and just being like, "What? What?"
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
We struggle with that here at IGN, where there are things where you just don't know. Like, you don't know what's gonna take off. Like, we try to be good about that. That is sort of part of our jobs of being tastemakers and seeing, okay, wow, this looks great. We think we want to get behind this and tell people about this. But sometimes something will go on to early access and it just spreads like wildfire and it just completely blows up.
I totally agree. I think it's a little bit synonymous with almost being like into grunge before Nirvana really hit the radio. It's a thing where we had seen a lot of iterations of this Battle Royale, from DayZ Battle Royale mod to H1Z1, and then going as far back as spacing on the name. Anyway, the point being that it's been a long time coming. We saw a survival mode added to The Division. So that was kind of the first kind of inklings, I think, of people being interested in this mode. But PlayerUnknown, out of the gate, nailed it. They had very few bugs. I say very few relative to the fact that the survival genre, and especially survival early access, has such a low bar. I think Conan Exiles was a great example of there's a quote from Funcom saying that's a bar that we can hit, and they did, and it was abysmal. It was barely playable, and that was the standard. So somebody taking it seriously, coming out of the gate with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds that works well, works as intended. They've thought through. They've made it gameplay first. It's not. It's not a military simulation game. It's gameplay first. There's hardly any fall damage, things like that. And they've had this insane weekly and monthly patch cadence that they have now deviated from because there's just no way they could keep up that tempo. But point being, at this point, it's totally worth jumping in on, and I cannot wait for Xbox One players to get their hands on it. I think they're going to love it.
Yeah, late 2017 was our last update on that, which we had sat, the Unlocked crew had sat here. I wonder if you agree, James. We took that to literally mean December in this case, because the fact is they're shipping an early access game. It's not okay, well, we'll be done here and then it'll go gold and be out. It's no, the game's still in development. We just need to decide at what point are we comfortable taking people's money for this on the Xbox platform. So do you see it being any earlier than December, or do you feel like
Definitely not. In fact, I would say that early 2018, a delay until early 2018 is not unlikely, because the builds that I've played of it at ID at Xbox, they're very suspect, because
they're
it's
not
running
even
on a PC.
Right, they're Xbox spec'd PCs.
I don't get it, because it's on Steam, right? It's on live servers. There's no way they could populate servers at the rate at which they were for these playtests without being on the live servers. And you're playing with a controller that has no aim assist, which, by the way, is not a great experience, I think. So that's my one concern with it coming to Xbox One, is like, are you going to be mingling with PC players? I don't know that that's necessarily fair. No offense to anybody.
No,
but
I mean, nobody. I don't think anybody would take offense to that.
This is a game that was made for a mouse and keyboard, and so if you have to compete on a controller, I think that's a distinct disadvantage. So I would love to see Xbox One exclusive servers.
Ryan, does Xbox still use the game preview program?
Absolutely, it's more popular than ever.
Okay.
Bigger deal. That's PUBG will be launching.
That's what I was just going to ask.
Yes,
that's absolutely part of the game preview.
Yeah, one of the earliest examples of game preview that hugely successful was Ark Survival Evolved. You know, it had already been in early access on PC.
Sure.
And they brought an early access or a game preview build to the Xbox, and almost 2 years later, it finally a week ago.
Yeah, it's just out now. Right?
Shipped, like
retail.
Shipped, gold, done, here. Pay us $60 for it. It's a finished game now.
Which is such a granular transition, by the way.
It really is, more than ever.
Yeah. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, at the time of early access launch, could have very well been quantified as a full release. I think
with one map? Are you serious?
It's synonymous to Dota in the sense that one map is all you need. I think multiple maps could be cool, but like, you know, this map is so expansive and dynamic.
But not $60 done, right?
Maybe not.
Because that we can argue semantics all day.
Yeah, let's argue semantics. I've sunk 200 hours into it on PC, and I would not hesitate to jump back in. I've not completed the content, because the content is other players, and it's randomized, and it's consistently new and fresh and emerging.
So the interesting story that's particularly relevant to Xbox fans about PUBG this week, this will obviously be applying to the Xbox version when it comes over, is the water technology in Sea of Thieves that Rare is using, which is an Unreal Engine 4 based game. They're putting PUBG is going to be adding Sea of Thieves as water tech.
So the water is going to be the best looking part of PUBG.
So yeah, and if you've seen Sea of Thieves, you know the water is stunning. Like the waves on it. I mean, it's a beautiful looking ocean seafaring game. And so here's a quote from Brendan Green, aka PlayerUnknown himself, saying, quote, "Rare said they love the game, they play it a lot, but oh, your water." I mean, and then Brendan says, "I mean, our water's not very good, but Rare has great water tech. They said we should share some knowledge." And that's the great thing about being part of a network of studios, referring to the fact that Microsoft is now publishing the game on Xbox One. He says, "We can get that water tech essentially for free, and we can share stuff with them. That's just invaluable because their water is great. Having that would really finish off our world nicely."
I wonder what they're sharing with Sea of Thieves.
I was just thinking that.
Some design help, I don't know.
I don't think anything from PUBG even applies to the world of Sea of Thieves.
I think, well, it's very high concept, but I think that PUBG relies on this replayability that is tapped into emergence and being on the same map with the same assets, but having it being a different experience every time. And everything I played of Sea of Thieves would lead me to suggest that that game is going to be a little bit light on assets and quote-unquote content, but there will be a replayability to it and a progression. So who knows?
Yeah, I think that's fair, but that's just, I wonder, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when this like, does somebody pick up the phone? Does somebody at Microsoft?
I think drinks were involved.
Yeah, were they at a bar? Like, did this happen in a bar at Gamescom? Because that would not surprise me in the slightest. Knocking back a few Kolsch
Yeah.
At
Kulsh.
in
It's really hard
Cologne.
to pronounce. No, as just as an aside, we were at the hotel bar and I said, bartender, can I have a Kolsch? And he was like, what? I have a beer. Oh, a beer. What would you like? We have Stella or Kolsch? And I was like, what? Isn't that not what I just said?
Yeah, it's got that O's got that umlaut on it.
Yeah,
So you got that
Kolsch.
Kolsch.
We need Per Schneider in here.
You gotta when in Germany, speak German.
I will say, Sea of Thieves is a game I've come back around on. I'm super excited for it. When they first announced it, I thought it looked really cool. New game from Rare, something that's a little bit more gameplay focused than what Rare has been into lately.
And the more
connectimals.
Stuff.
But then 2 or 3 E3s ago, they chose to showcase it with these really obnoxious YouTubers, and I was like, ugh, maybe this isn't for me. But then the gameplay demo from this E3 looked super fun. Yeah. They just played through a whole cooperative.
Did you get to
mission
play
together.
at E3 this
I didn't
year?
play
I
it.
know
No,
you're busy hosting our live show
I host all
week.
the live shows. Yeah, but I'm talking about the gameplay showcase at the Microsoft press conference. It looks really cool. So
I told Rare that. I told the devs that right to their faces too. I was like, yeah, your stage demo this year was so good.
Yeah,
it did a much better job of showing off the game.
Yeah, it made the game look really cool.
Yeah, they had that cool narrator that sort of accomplished more or less the same thing as the influencers from the previous year did, but in a much, shall we say,
professional,
more orally
palatable.
palatable way.
And also shorter. Brevity is the soul of wit. And let's not forget that. I love that they got straight to the point.
Also, I know
Is that your phrase?
No, that is William Shakespeare, I believe.
I know I'm going to get tweeted
wish I
at
could
by those YouTubers that were in that video. Follow me, and they literally yell at me every single time that comes up because they're still mad that I ranted about that.
Be less obnoxious.
Sorry.
There's a fantastic YouTube channel that all it does is it takes the kind of cheesy, half-scripted commentary from E3 demos, and if they were real gamers, what they would actually sound like. If this were people on Xbox who were not concerned about being recorded to, and it is hilarious. It's super fun.
So do they play it straight, or is it like
it's all it's like MS3TK for video game demos. It's very good.
MST3K.
Yes,
I got
sorry.
your back. No, I'm with you.
Thank you.
Have you watched it? You clearly haven't watched any of the new ones, James.
I watched 1 or 2.
The new Netflix.
I love the second one.
Super good.
I love
Cry Wilderness. That was
Yes.
That's probably the best.
That was
episode of the
really
season.
good.
That was
I
super
liked
good.
the Time Travelers myself. That one's really good.
Yeah, solid stuff. Netflix.
And have you? On my flight to Germany, I watched classic episode Laser
Blast.
Yeah,
that was the very last episode.
Was it really?
Before,
man,
before
I had never seen it. Yeah,
I'd
never seen it. That one. That's a great episode of
where they
There's a
they all
random
turn
Star
into
Wars sign, right? And they just blow it up because
it's just
they have
a random
shot of competing with Star Wars.
Randomly, they're driving along the road. There's just a billboard that just says Star Wars, and they blow it up.
Oh my goodness! All right, so look for some hot Sea of Thieves waves.
Yep.
Hitting your PUBG when you play it on.
Which,
Xbox.
by the way, you interact with the water maybe 1 out of every 5 games.
Just
but hey, now it's going to be nice.
Yeah,
now it's gonna be pretty
It's
when you
okay.
do
We can enjoy it. All right. So the classic Halo games have been announced as they're all coming to Xbox One backward compatibility. We've got Halo Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, and Halo 4. They're obviously all available in the Master Chief Collection, but should you not want to purchase that or don't already have it, they are going to be backwards compatible if you've still got your 360 copies of those things. Taking a little bit more time to get that backwards compatibility work done on those games, though. Microsoft issued a statement saying, the Xbox Back Compat team is hard at work on final polish, and we continue to work closely with them and evaluate all 4 games for launch. We're taking extra time to ensure the experience lives up to fan expectations, but I hear we're making great progress and release should be getting closer.
Well, I hope it's you hope it's getting closer and not farther away.
That can happen.
Yeah, it can happen.
It can happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, this is. I mean, I mentioned this only as more of a PSA, as like, hey, if you've been waiting to replay these, maybe you're, whatever it is, but take your time.
Yeah.
They're old games. There are plenty of new games to play in the meantime. They got to make sure to get these right and not have them be, have frame rate problems or glitches or whatever it is. When they come over and they're compatible, they need to be done properly.
Yeah. But like you mentioned, the Master Chief Collection is very good. I think it's cheap now. It's like $30.
Probably.
I want to say.
Yeah, I'll bet it is.
Which the only one of these it doesn't include is ODST. Is that right?
Which you can get as paid DLC in the Master Chief Collection. If you remember, the ODST was the mea culpa. That was the apology for all of the Master Chief Collection's problems.
Okay.
If you had bought Master Chief Collection,
Problems that have been fixed since then.
mostly? The online still
Really?
it's not perfect, and I suppose it never will be because they haven't updated the game. I think they've moved on. They're not supporting it anymore. I don't think. Don't take that as gospel, but yeah, if you had bought Master Chief Collection in the first 60 days or something, they had announced ODST, and then they said, "Hey, you'll get it for free if you bought the game. If you bought Master Chief Collection in the beginning, and then everybody else, I think it might only be $5, but I'd have to double check the price on that. But yeah, it's there. I played a little bit of it in MCC. Still, ODST remains to this day some people's favorite Halo.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow,
it is a very it's a Halo game, but it's definitely unique. It's got its own flavor to it.
And then how do people feel about Reach today?
Very mixed bag.
Yeah.
You've got people that's their favorite Halo.
Well,
Really?
narratively. I don't think mechanically or in terms of the world, but certainly, I don't know. I like the apocalypse story where you know that it's not going to end well.
You've got people like me. It's their least. Well, actually, Halo 5 campaign is now my new least favorite Halo. But I'm not a big fan of Reach's campaign. To me, the missions were very Halo paint by numbers. Like you had your Scorpion tank level. You had the what the hell was it called? The spaceship level,
right?
Which was awesome. I wish they hadn't shown that to the press and to the world ahead of time. That would have been a cool surprise. But you couldn't really, for me with Reach, you couldn't. The sandbox wasn't up to par because, for instance, on that Scorpion tank level, it was really designed where you couldn't do it any other way. You really had to use the Scorpion tank. And for me, the essence of Halo is, well, sure, I can get in that if I want to, but I could totally do this 3 other ways if I want.
Sure. Yeah, and I do remember that expressly from Combat Evolved.
Yes.
That first level where you land on the Halo ring, cowboy something, right? With the little thing that pops up at the bottom. But yeah, that was an example of a large open world space that I love conquering. But I guess I kind of lost sight of that, and the Halo games became more about the multiplayer for me, which apparently they have for a lot of people. But
you like Reach's multiplayer?
I did like Reach's multiplayer.
I thought Reach had the worst set of maps.
Name
a map.
An Isolation remake. No, I don't know.
See? Now I'll bet you can name 4 Halo 2 maps. See?
Yeah,
this is my point exactly.
True. I guess I was surprised at the negative reception when I thought it was all right.
It was good, but by Halo standards,
sure,
not up to the other Halo games.
Has it gotten better since then?
I doubt it.
Yeah, I think that's a sad thing, isn't it? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, you never got
at least in terms of the campaign 4 and 5. I thought
my other thing was there were you never got. I never really got it. I never really connected with Noble Team. You knew they were all going to die, which, okay, that can be a powerful narrative element, but it was just like they would each get picked off one by one, and I was like, all right, whatever.
It was annoying to see one of them, take like a sticky grenade to the face in campaign, and then all of a sudden, like a single
one sniper bullet,
and they're like, oh, no, it's my time. So yeah, it was a little, that part was a little cheesy, but I guess I liked that there were things at stake that were executed on, and that was the lives. Yeah, even if they were all doomed to die at some point, I would,
I don't fault anybody if that is one of their favorite Halo campaigns. It just didn't quite gel with me. My other problem, the other way, I'm not a designer and I don't pretend to be or claim to be, but the one thing I always said I would have loved to have seen, just 30 extra seconds of cutscene. If that game had ended by coming completely full circle and ending on the shot from Halo 1 of Chief stepping out of the cryopod.
Sure. Well, I mean, isn't the first shot of Halo Combat Evolved is the Pillar of Autumn coming out of its jump,
but
right?
but there's that when you start, like when gameplay starts, it's you see him in there and then you get in and you step out. Like if it had been him stepping out, that would have been bringing it all the way around.
It did have a Rogue One element to it at the end there with like.
Yeah.
But I love that. I love that. Like, whoa, this is what happened, even though the timelines don't perfectly match up. But anyway,
Welcome to Reachcast.
yes,
with James
Reachcast,
Duggan.
Halo Reachcast. I do remember that there was a collector's edition that gave you the long coveted Bungie fiery helmet.
Oh yes.
That for the longest time was reserved for like Bungie employees only, or you had to be in the press. At that point, I wasn't. I was like, God, I don't know, 17.
Was that the Recon helmet, or was it called something else?
No, I think
Because remember there was Ken I Has Recon. Remember that
I do remember that.
I don't remember that.
That's real old school. Some Halo 2 multiplayer stuff.
from the Ken I Has Cheeseburger era of pop culture.
So,
Yeah.
what do we think the consensus is about the multiplayer with these games? I mean, in terms of backwards compatibility, like are the servers still up? Are they going to be backup for this? What is?
Yeah.
Or is this
is
all
that what's
work?
taking so long?
Maybe. I mean, how great is it that you'll be able to jump on and play multiplayer in Halo Anniversary, Halo 3, of course 3 ODSTs is Firefight, which is great, and then 4. Jump in get a little bit.
To use a classic Microsoft or Xbox marketing term.
Yes. Yeah, the old jump in, jump back in. That should be the
Jump in again.
Yeah, why not? Jump in again. It's still fun.
Sure.
Okay. Finally this week, Damon, I feel like you're going to be able to help me out here. This is a game that I never played because I've been an Xbox guy for most of the last 15 years. I mean, I have the other systems now, but certainly in the era when this game came out, Xbox was all I was playing.
Yeah.
Okami.
Yeah. A very cool game.
Yeah, it's in Capcom's ongoing quest to reissue every single one of their games in their back catalog.
Yeah. Which I welcome. You know, Capcom has made a lot of great games over the years, and
they're bringing it to a platform that it's never been on before. So Okami HD coming out on December 12th.
Yeah.
On Xbox One, among other platforms, for $20.
Yeah, that's cool.
Tell me about why you love this game.
Well, it's a Zelda-like.
Yes.
And I love The Legend of Zelda, and this is a very good Zelda-like, created by Capcom, who we should also note has made legitimate Legend of Zelda games for Nintendo.
That's true,
Nintendo
for Game Boy.
So they took their experience working on the real Zelda series and then made their own Zelda game, and it's great. With a really cool paintbrush mechanic. Although back in the day, you were using the controllers. I guess they'll probably integrate that in the same way. But yeah, so set in like ancient Japanese mythology. You have a really cool wolf that you control. Not too many games where the main character's a wolf. It's awesome.
That's an extra thumbs up on that.
Yeah, for sure.
If that's a gameplay mechanic.
Really cool like puzzles and boss fights, and the game is really long. The game just like it feels like there's like several points where you feel like, all right, we're wrapping things up, and oh no, we got a whole other like story that's opening up now.
So $20, you get your money's worth.
For sure, yeah, and it'll be great to see it in HD too.
Excellent, love that. That's kind of it going on news-wise this week. A little quiet. We're heading into the big fall season. In fact, on that note, I want to go to Master of Ceremonies, Game Scoop host extraordinaire,
Oh my gosh,
Damon Hatfield,
that's me.
for the Marketplace Report. What can we spend our money on the Xbox this week, Damon?
Well, Ryan, my pick this week would be Dishonored: Death of the Outsider. I'm a big Dishonored fan, both 1 and 2, and it's really cool to be getting more Dishonored content this week.
And if I do believe this is a standalone,
It is standalone,
expansion.
yeah.
You do not need to own Dishonored 2 or Dishonored 1.
That is correct.
Yeah, good to see that.
Yeah, so like those are really good stealth games, lots of fun powers and abilities. Like you were talking about the sandbox in Halo.
Yes.
It gives you, it's not an open world game, but it drops you into really large levels. And then, you're free to achieve your objectives, take out your targets in any way you seem fit. You don't have to kill anyone. You can get through the entire game without, with no kills.
Yeah, like old school Thief.
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
open spaces to approach your targets however you want.
The sweet spot for me.
Yeah.
That's what I love doing.
Hell yeah. What else we got out there?
2 sports games, NHL 18 and NBA Live 18 are out this week.
Very curious to see how NBA Live's going to sell.
Why is that? I don't know like the story behind it.
So Live has been, let's just call a spade a spade. It's been a joke for a few years because, in fact, it didn't even come out last year. They skipped last year to take extra time to try and pick themselves up off the hardwood and get back in the game this year. Oops, reference.
Yep.
See that?
I'm following you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Live had was once so well loved, so well respected, and it has really, I think it was Live 10 was the last really, really good one. And ever since then, this decade has not been kind to the EA's NBA series. Famously, there was the NBA Elite 11 that was canceled 2 weeks prior to its release.
I remember that.
There was a playable demo that was full of bugs. There was one that went viral with Andrew Bynum from the Lakers stuck in a T-pose at center court, which went around the YouTube as the Jesus Bynum because it looked like he was on the cross. And then, EA laid low for a while. But to their credit, the demo of NBA Live 18 was out couple weeks ago now, and it has been very, very well received. I played it. It played pretty well. So EA's having another go, and I know they did a thing if you pre-ordered it, which, I know, so you're committing to buy a thing where you don't know how good it's going to turn out, but it was like if you pre-ordered it, I think you got the game for $35 or something, so you got to, you got a deal. Not unlike, remember way back, Damon, NFL 2K, when they were nipping on Madden's heels?
Yeah.
They went for that death strike with believe it was 2K5, where they sold it for $20. They said, we think we have a better game than EA and than Madden, and we're going to sell it for $20. And you remember what happened after that?
I don't remember what happened after that.
EA locked up the NFL license exclusively and literally shut 2K out of the game. But
wow.
Long story short,
power play.
Yeah, people seem the impressions seem a little positive, which is great to see. The better it is, the more it'll push 2K to keep their game up.
Do you know if every major sports game release has that trading card system in it now?
I think it has.
The Madden Ultimate Team, the FIFA Ultimate Team.
FIFA's been doing it for a while.
It's such a huge deal. I just imagine it would come to things like NBA Live if they had the resources to put it in the game.
I guess, because there's the embargoes long up. Yeah, I don't know if there are trading cards in Live, because I played a build of it a while back. It does have loot boxes, which I was like, wow, these have even made it into sports games now.
Oh, they are everywhere. You cannot get away from them.
I'm not sure if it has trading card kind of stuff in it.
Sure.
I guess we'll find out.
Does it have a story mode?
Yes, it does. That's the new.
So every sports game has to have a story mode now.
Yeah. Which I, by the way, as a single player story guy,
sure,
I applaud that.
Nothing wrong with that.
And apparently the Madden one's really good, long shot mode. I don't know how this NBA Live one is. But there you go.
Cool.
What else are we spending our money on?
Now, in the digital realm, there's a couple titles here I'm not familiar with. Planet of the Eyes.
We never are. That's the running joke.
Planet of the Eyes, which sounds it could be cool. Who knows?
That sounds like a game filled with spiders, which sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah. That's only $8. And then there's NASCAR Heat 2. That's a full $50 game. Pro Evolution Soccer 2018 is out this week. Which,
huge every year.
And I think we're actually giving a good score to it, really good score to it.
I don't know if our review's up yet, but
I think we might be giving it a good score. Maze, like the corn, is $15 with the gold membership, $20 without.
M-A-I-Z-E.
There's something called Walk the Light.
See, there's a cool name. Most of these little ID titles, we goof, like they have horrible names.
Yeah,
like
even Planet of the Eyes.
Is pretty bad. Let's be honest in the naming department.
You like Walk the Light?
I'm down with that. That sounds like a cool book.
Or it could be like a prog rock album.
It's a super group made up of members of Rush and Yes.
Hey,
Walk the Light.
All right, that sounds okay. Get down with that. Then on the marketplace, we have a playable demo of NBA 2K18, like you were mentioning. Then the September games with gold include Forza Motorsport 5. That's the racing game of the year edition. That's available all month long. Then there's Oxenfree, which is available September 16th to October 15th, which is very cool to see that on there. That's a very cool indie game from last year, I believe.
Yes.
Hydro Thunder Hurricane.
Yeah, that would have been my game of the year so far pick.
Oxenfree.
If Oxenfree had come out this
year. Oxenfree is very cool. Hydro Thunder Hurricane is available for the first half of September on Xbox One and Xbox 360. And man, Hydro Thunder is an old arcade name. It's like
spiritual sequel right here.
Yeah, it's like a a speedboat racing game, arcade racing, not sim. And I remember there was a Hydro Thunder that came out on Xbox Live Arcade.
This is it.
This is the same one. It's this one.
It's just being made backwards compatible here and being given away for free.
Well, there's some fun arcade racing thrills to be had there. And Battlefield 3 is available the back half of September on both Xbox One and Xbox 360.
4 Battlefields ago.
Yeah.
What?
Battlefield 3.
But I'm sure
4
that
Hardline, 1.
Yeah.
There have been 3 Battlefields.
Hey,
This is 4 Battlefields ago. But hey, it's free, so whatever.
You know what's really on Origin? Like, I think it's just free on there. Don't quote me on that, but I swear at some point they either gave it away for free or it's absolutely free with that like Origin Plus thing.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And I think Battlefield 4 is on there as well as Battlefront. So I know that's so
Origin?
strange.
Yeah.
But that's
Hey, EA.
5 people are going to be playing that.
Let's sort out the naming conventions here. We don't have to put the word battle in everything.
Well,
I bet there is.
talk
I bet there's a
to
dedicated
PUBG.
Battlefield 3. Oh, PUBG.
yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of multiplayer action happening in Battlefield 3 today.
That's a
I'm
good
sure that there's
question.
like a hardcore Discord or Ventrilo server that is keeping it strong.
But for free, that campaign's probably worth playing through.
Why not?
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Neither did I.
The campaign.
Okay, maybe not.
Again,
Even for free.
Free.
Yeah.
What do you can't complain.
Yeah, it's true.
So when Marty gets back, I'm gonna tell him, all right, Marty, top 10 games with battle in the title.
Okay.
I don't know why Battleborn popped into my head. Of all the games of battle,
that's probably not in there.
No, that's definitely not in there.
Battle Chess.
Battle Chess. That was a Topware game, no? No,
probably.
I mean, it could have been, yeah.
Yeah, I worked for that company for a very brief time. That was my first gaming industry job.
Did you develop Battle Chess?
I did not develop Battle Chess. What a ridiculous idea for a game, though. It was chess, and then when 2 pawns would clash, you would have a fighting thing, completely defeating the purpose of strategy, because it was whoever was better at button matching.
Right.
Bad idea. Anyway.
That's the only way I could ever be good at chess. Is battle chess.
Fair enough.
Button mashing.
Then there was Star Wars Chess, which is just Battle Chess with Star Wars characters.
Let's undermine everything that's good about chess.
Oh my goodness. All right. Gentlemen, we're going to play a little Xbox trivia right now.
Oh boy.
Good. I like trivia.
This is nowhere near as in-depth as the drama-filled tension that is Damon Hatfield's Video Game 20 questions. This is one question.
Okay, good.
And you've got a 1 in 4 shot to get it right.
Okay, good.
But nevertheless, our listeners send in the questions, and
Oh boy.
we just play for points. And this one comes to us from Christos, whose gamer tag is Kristaki06, Kristaki06. This is a good one. I like this. In the 2005 original Xbox game, Star Wars Republic Commando, very well-liked game. What were the names of Delta Squad? The actual names of your soldiers in Delta Squad? Were they Tex, Brutus, Hawk, and Flint? Price, Briggs, Beloff, and Rojas? Boss, Fixer, Scorch, and Sev? Or Rex, Wolf, Saw, and Gregor? There's going to be...
Did you play Republic Commando?
Yes.
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, so I did. Ryan, I assume you know the answer to this. You've looked up.
I'm trying to remember. When he sent it, I was able to narrow it down to 2, and then I got it wrong. So I did miss this, but there's some fun to be had in this.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
I was trying to logic it out. Like, what would these Star Wars characters that are all clones, right?
Yeah.
So I guess they need a narrative designation. So here we go.
Well, so I don't think I could have told you this if it weren't multiple choice. However,
there's no way I could.
C, Boss, Fixer, Scorch, and Sev looks the most familiar to me.
I also think that's the most Star Wars-y. I feel like Price, Briggs, Belov, and Rojas would be the name of an elite.
Hawk and Flint are G.I. Joes. So
Yeah. I think Fixer and Scorch, that strikes me as very Star Wars.
So both of you going with C.
I'll definitely go with C. That's the one.
Final answer.
So that's what I thought as well.
No. What?
To be fair, Christos fooled us all. It's actually D. Rex, Wolf, Saw, and Gregor.
Really?
Tex, Brutus, Hawk, and Flint. That is an OG Xbox shout-out.
Brute Force.
Yes.
At least half
a point for you.
Great. All right.
And Price, Briggs, Beloff, and Rojas, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Right. So Price. Right.
So what is C? C anything, or they just made up?
You know what? I don't remember. I don't have his email in front of me. But yeah, Rex, Wolf, Saw, and Gregor were the soldiers in Republic Commando. So we had a lot of fun with that. That was a good question.
That was
Christos,
a good one,
bravo to you. Good stuff.
Fooled us.
So I will, we'll see. Yeah, we just play for pride around here. Sadly, no, I can't add you guys to the scoreboard.
That's okay.
For the year, but
I'll wash out with that half a point. That's good enough for me.
That sounds good. All right, well, that's it. Like I said, kind of a slow news week, but we had some fun anyway. I want to go first to James Duggan. James, where can we find you on social media? What cool things should we be watching for you with on IGN, etc.?
So you can find me on Twitter at Thuggin'Duggan. That's THUGGNDUGGN. And the stuff that I'm working on right now is all Destiny 2. Best way to play is I'll be doing the raid, which is the Leviathan tomorrow with Destin Legary for 12 hours. If I'm still alive,
is that being streamed live?
Yes.
So we can watch that probably on the IGN homepage,
on
youtube.com,
twitch.com/IGN,
twitch.tv, right?
Yeah, twitch.tv, right. So yeah, go to our social media at any point from 9 a.m. Pacific to probably 9 a.m.
Are you all ready to go? Are you all?
I have a little bit more to do.
So you'll be ready by tomorrow. Though.
Yes. When the servers come back up, you're still down.
You guys are gonna jump right in, straight to the raid.
Otherwise, if you have Disney XD, you can check out the IGN show, and that they keep moving that time slot around. But and at that point, we have wrapped up season 1. So yeah, those will be replays at this point, but. Who knows what the future holds for that? So
yeah, you guys did awesome that first season. A lot of good stuff.
I enjoyed it. A lot of work.
Indeed. Damon Hatfield.
Yeah. I host a little podcast for IGN called Game Scoop every week. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. It is an non-platform.
Yeah, it's our multi-platform show.
It is our multi-platform podcast.
Platform agnostic.
Platform agnostic, which I am, covering Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC games, mobile gaming, everything. New episodes coming up every week, and we're recording this week's episode in just a couple hours. So, yeah. And you can always find me on Twitter at DameZero.
Fantastic. And I'm at DMC_Ryan. I know what I wanted to plug. IGN Unfiltered is my monthly long-form interview show. Randy Pitchford, CEO, co-founder of Gearbox. You remember he was my guest last month, and Randy had so many crazy stories about all the things he's been involved with over the years that we got an hour and a half and only got halfway through my questions and halfway through his professional life.
Oh, wow.
To his absolute credit, he flew back here a week later, and we finished the interview. So
awesome.
The second half is up. And yes, for those everybody's been asking me, you better ask him about Aliens, Colonial Marines. Oh, we talked about it. He talks about Aliens along with Battleborn and the future of Borderlands and some other stuff. So that is on IGN, YouTube, and also podcast services now. Would love it if you decide to check it out on a podcast. I get it. It's an hour and a half long. Maybe give us a video view as well. That would be super helpful. That way I can convince my bosses to keep allowing me to do Unfiltered. That's how this works. So check that out. That's Unfiltered episode 23 now. So otherwise, what do we got? We're doing our Code Vein IGN first for all you Dark Souls fans. This is the next generation of Souls-like experience.
We're doing Code Vein all month long?
All month long, all September.
Ooh.
Yeah, we've got some good stuff on that, including like just 17 minutes of actual like straight gameplay, which they've really not shown. There was like a weird little 30-second snippet at E3. So we've got the first real proper look at that game. So take a look at that. That's go.ign.com/codevein is where you can find a wrap-up of everything we're doing. And that'll wrap it up. Damon Hatfield, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Loved having you here. James
Pleasure.
Duggan, same thing.
Thank you for having me as well.
Loved the insights on the Destiny and on the PUBG.
Great trivia as well. That was really good.
That worked out really well. Shout out to Christos again for stumping us all and doing so in a super fun way. I'm Ryan McCaffrey. This was a palindromatic episode of Podcast Unlocked. It was episode 313, as my voice goes here at the end of the show. We'll see you next week. But actually, I'm on vacation next week. Woohoo! Have fun with Marty and Alana and Destin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're not so bad. I like those folks.
They might not burn down the show. It'll be fine.
This episode will go live tomorrow?
Yeah.
So you'll publish episode 313 on 9/13?
Oh, how about that?
You timed that out really well, Ryan.
Nailed it.
Wow. Yeah.
It's almost by design, except not at all. All right, we'll see you guys. I'll see you in 2 weeks, but come back for the show next week. Bye.